This is it. We're rolling episode 593, folks. No Laugh Track Podcast. That's right. Here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, my name is Justin Severson. I get to host this every week, including this week with my guest, Greg Coleman. Last time we were here was August of last year, so less than a year.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's good. It's better than being like, hey, I haven't seen you for 3 years. Where the hell you been? They don't give you stage time anymore.
That is true.
Huh?
That is very true. I was like, man, I felt like I was just here. But I'm not going to complain.
No, don't complain. Don't complain. So I did not saw the show last night, but not because I was here, because they recorded it for me.
Oh, okay.
So I watched it this morning.
You did.
I have all the details. I saw everything. And I want to start out
where are we going?
With how you addressed the crowd when you came out. You gave them an update.
Yeah, I'm going to give them the same update tonight. I had to let them know because we were going up against the Timberwolves last night, and I had to let them know they weren't doing that great. They weren't doing that great at all.
I looked at the clock because I was watching it. I looked and I'm like, yeah. If he's paying attention backstage, they're getting smoked already.
Yeah. They were. Yeah, I was. Yeah, because luckily we had there are quite some comics above me or before me, so I was watching a bit of the game.
Okay. Yeah. What was it? So I did not see that. Was the competition is going on right now?
Yeah, contest started last night.
Okay, so there was several competitors.
Yeah, competitors. And it's,
Wake up!
I just felt like. I was like, oh my God, I was a competitor at a time in my life. I was like, oh, here we go. This 3 minutes.
Right.
And it's weird, but it's like, it did eventually lead to this. So I was like, maybe I'll go watch a little bit. I'll watch in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were your typical loosey-goosey on stage Greg Coleman last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just had to figure it out, see where we're going.
I want to know how much for, let's say someone was here last night, saw the show. How different is that going to be, let's say Friday or Saturday versus the first night? Because you were like, I'm feeling things out. I'm seeing where these are.
Yeah. I figure some of the things will be tighter for sure. There are a couple like ideas where I haven't been able to work them out here. And that's why I love kind of like Wednesday and Thursday, because people come out and they're like, yeah, sometimes we like seeing the loosey-goosey stuff.
Yeah.
By Friday, might be tightened up and packaged and sequenced a little bit different. But, I still... Sometimes I like the loosey-goosey better than, like, sometimes either being too tight or too scripted or too whatever. Like, I don't know. I leave space. I leave space for the world to happen.
There were a couple things where you're like, man. Like there were, you called it out. There were like some abrupt stops. You're like, this isn't going anywhere. I'm going to try this again.
Yeah.
I'm curious, how has that ever happened? And you're just like, that idea sucks. I'm done. And you don't even go back to it, or do you always give it another chance?
Sometimes I'll. If it's not hitting and if I'm not feeling it, sometimes I'll try to push through. But, sometimes I don't have a problem abandoning a joke on a Wednesday, especially 90% through.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because we did go there. Like, I tried to, I remember what you were talking about. I'm like, all right, let me try to figure this piece out. And then by the time I kind of, like, figured out what I wanted, I was like, you know what? No, I don't want that. Let's just go somewhere else. And sometimes it takes people aren't used to it.
Right.
Which in my head, sometimes an experience is worth more than a punchline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because say I could have gave it a punch and it could have been, all right, cool, on to the next thing.
Yeah.
But that's going to be a piece like, shit, you've seen so much comedy. And you remember that might be something in the car where they're like, man, I've never seen he just got stopped in the middle of it.
Mhm.
And it's like, yeah, man, this is, like you say, I can pay for the attempt. Like, you know, and as long as the next thing I go to, like, somewhat works or halfway works.
You can
Yeah.
always do that.
Yeah,
You've been doing this
maybe
long enough.
maybe I just might pull it back for, like, maybe I want to give this to Friday. Like, I'll watch the tape. See
You know what is
happens.
interesting is if you really look at the setting of last night. So you've been doing this at one point, like you said, you were a contestant in the funniest person contest. Now you're a headliner here. Backstage are these brand new comedians that are just doing open mics probably, and then they're seeing you up here like I don't know, like it's so
Yeah, they're like,
I don't know, maybe
minutes,
don't.
I gotta write every word, and then I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like, in the most respectful way of, it's like, this is just my process, kids.
So we're not supposed to do it like you? Okay, I got it.
Yeah, like, even though, look, I brought note cards out. I was like, I'm gonna write my jokes on note cards like I used to do.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I did too, and then I was just like, you know what?
I mean, that's a lot of note cards.
That's a lot of note cards. I only wrote 2 jokes down on them. Maybe I might get to like 10 by the end of the week.
That's progress.
Yeah,
that is progress.
It's progress.
For the most part, I think that like April Fool's Day is kind of lame. Like I'm not into it anymore. But what you posted this year on April Fool's Day, come on.
Hey, I'm gonna start writing my jokes. Like, the problem is I can write jokes for other people or scripts. Like, as long as it's not necessarily for me, I can write it out word for word and be like, hey, no, you gotta say it just like this. But for me, I like to leave space. I like to leave room for God.
There were a couple people who actually believed you that you were changing your whole philosophy.
Yeah,
I'm going to start
Lyle.
writing stuff down.
Lyle LaRue.
Yes!
I think it was Lyle believes everything I put on the internet. What's up, Lyle? I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, well, people, they keep the internet going.
I
think they keep the internet alive for us, if you ask me. Of course, I listened back last time you were here. Oh, no, before we get to that, one more thing about the Timberwolves. Did you see the guy that got the tattoo of the William O'Brien, the championship logo?
Mm-hmm.
Last week, he got the championship logo with the Timberwolves logo and the year 2025.
Yeah. Yeah. He's going to be known as, you know what? That's a more memorable tattoo now that they lost. Because if they would have won, it would have been like, oh, look, Frank, show him. Like, it would have been hot till like July, right?
True.
Then other people would have got it.
True.
But now, look at this dork. He's the only, look what he did. Look what he did. I bet, was it next to his free Nas Reed tattoo?
You know, it's the same company that was doing those, the same tattoo shop.
Yeah, of course
It was
it
doing
is.
the Nas last year, yeah.
Yeah, of course it is. I wonder how, like, some of those people still feel that, like, Nas didn't show up this last series.
And probably won't be at the Wolves next year.
Yeah. Like, there's a good chance of that. Like, do you get the free removal, or whoever comes in next, do you just, like, scratch that out and be like, Zion, hopefully,
Right?
Like, what are we doing here?
Durant.
Yeah, maybe KD. Well, then that's going to have to be a lot of different colors to represent every single team
That's
KD's
true.
been on.
That's true.
Yeah, that one's definitely going to be one and done.
I saw that. I'm like, man, I don't know. I mean, yeah, you're going to have a story for the rest of your life, but boy, if they don't win.
Although most of the tattoos that we get are kind of dumb. Like,
True. I have several. Yeah, I'm not really proud of any of them.
Yeah, there's a couple.
Yeah.
I was like, I haven't seen this tattoo in years,
Yeah.
But yeah, that
Fair
was putting the horse before the buggy.
Are you done getting tattoos in your life?
I keep saying I'm gonna get some and haven't. My wife she wants to get tattoos of our kids' names.
I was gonna say, I bet there's a kid one.
Yeah, but I was like, I remember them. Like, I told. I was like, I told
Check
her
the spelling.
Yeah, like for Mother's Day, I was like, hey, listen, hey, we can, like I got a couple gifts and stuff like that. But then I was like, and also we gonna get those tattoos that you wanted.
Yeah.
And I just never set it up because it's like, I don't think I need the names of my kids on my body.
And if you change your mind, there's a Mother's Day next year as well.
Yeah,
You get it for
there is.
next year.
Yeah, there is that. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's just
So I listened, like I was saying earlier, I listened back, of course, to when we did this last August, and at that time you mentioned no more kids. You were going to get the surgery in September, and then last night on stage,
it's done.
It's done.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about, and it went left.
And here's the thing: I love this premise. I love the whole. Like, I was like, why did you stop?
Oh, you know what it was? There's a guest comic on. And we basically kind of have like the same situation where like 2 kids under 2 or 3.
No shit.
And he was like, "Yeah, I got a vasectomy. I didn't even tell my wife I'm getting a vasectomy, blah, blah, blah." And then so I was like, man, do I want to double up on the vasectomy humor?
So you caught yourself kind of.
Yeah, kind of like halfway mid through. So like I didn't. Like I have that joke where it's like, oh, okay, here's the bit. But I was like, all right, let me try to approach it from a different way. And I realized I was like, oh, I'm not going to get the punch that I want from the way that I went there. And so I just kind of like, I was like, you know what, whatever. It doesn't matter. And the only thing I really wanted to just say vegan nuts. Like, that's the only reason why I like talking about that story is because I like saying like I'm busting vegan nuts. That's like that's the whole thing. So
when is that going to be on merch after a Greg Coleman show?
Maybe I need to sell vegan nuts after the show. That's going to be my merch.
I'm telling you.
Oh yeah. So that's like basically I'll abandon something.
Okay.
I don't have a problem like piecing out on something.
Well, I have to ask you, like, personally, this is coming from a dad and a man right here. I still have not done that.
Yeah, do it.
Do it.
Do it. It's not as bad. Like, I think we make the recovery sound a lot worse just because we're thinking that we're going to get TLC from our partners at home, which they don't care. I'm going to tell you that right now. They don't care. Even with the, hey, make sure that you 10 times. And I'm thinking, all right, cool. I'm gonna get a little assistance. Little assistance. No assistance. None assistance. They do not care at all. And here goes the thing. I'm letting this one out the bag.
Here we go.
It don't hurt as bad as you think it's gonna hurt.
Okay.
Like even with my situation when I got it done, it took longer than it was supposed to, but it felt just. I wasn't sure if like the procedure felt more uncomfortable or else just like just someone like fondling your balls a little bit. But even then you get like, all right, man, here we are. Like you're going to see it at everything. And I think at the end of it is just like busting vegan nuts. That's the no babies at the end of it. You know what I mean? Like, I did what I had to do on my end. And if we get pregnant, I'm sending that baby right to that doctor.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Did your wife thank you for getting this done? Did you at least get a thank you?
Yeah, not the type of thank you I was hoping for and thinking I was going to get, but it was a nice like, oh, thanks for doing this. And then I got to imagine like, oh, yeah, I did this so we couldn't. And she was like, imagine what I did so we could. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it doesn't hurt as much. I suggest everyone gets
That's
it.
good to know. That's good to know.
Yeah.
That gives me a little bit of confidence. I still don't have anything scheduled, but I ask every time somebody's on this podcast and has had that done, I'm like, I'm very pro.
Yeah, I'm very pro.
That is good to know. Did you see this trend? I thought of you immediately when I saw this trend going around a week or so, maybe 2 weeks ago now. Things move so fast. Where guys were calling their friends at night and recording it and saying goodnight. You know that reminds me, of course, of your old your joke about.
Text and tell them goodnight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I did see that. There were a couple good laughs on that one. My wife was like, you got to do it. You got to try it. And the funny thing is, I know exactly what friends who would be like, all right, man, cool, good night. And others would be like, man, what's wrong with you, dog? Sometimes I do.
Is this for a booty call?
Right? I was like, and sometimes I'm mad because I'm like, why didn't I record that? Because sometimes like I'll just mess around with my friends and like, I'm just going to see what's up. how are you? Oh my God. Like, are you on the road this week, Greg? You're bored. Like, yeah, just call and say hi. But yeah, that one I did enjoy watching that trend.
That's funny. How would no one called you with one?
No
You
one
weren't down the
called
other
me.
end?
No one called me. I think most people were waiting on me to call them.
That's funny. That's funny. And then the different reactions, because some people are like, man, wait, yeah, are you trying to fuck right now? And then other ones are like, yeah, man, how are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, miss you, man.
Yeah.
Like, I saw someone were like, man, guys are lonely.
Yeah, like, oh my God, it's so good to hear your voice.
I loved when you, the uncomfortableness of the crowd. I could feel it not even being here, just watching a recording of last night when you brought up, should we celebrate White History Month?
Oh, yeah, that's a... yeah, that one's in the bag. I like to just throw that one out there to see just where they're at. Maybe I got to learn to maybe not do it up front in the first 5 minutes.
When you say that, do you have somebody picked out in the crowd that you were gonna like? I want their reaction when this comes out of my mouth, or just the whole crowd in general?
Yeah, nah. I mean, it was just that's the part that I do like seeing is just mostly their reactions, and it did open up. Like, because we were able to talk a little bit. Like, that was the fun thing about, like, a crowd that size.
Yeah. On a Wednesday.
Like, I was like, okay, like, we can kind of, like, figure some of this out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what's what. Because, like you said, like, yeah, I do like tension. And sometimes, like, you just got to build it because there's not as much natural tension as, in the last couple years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like throwing that one out there just to see what's what. Because if someone can argue for it on the right side, or like I feel like it's weird because I'm actually arguing for it.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's
correct.
just,
you're right.
Yeah, and like so people think like the other shoes falling or whatever. Like, oh, it's something
Like,
just,
wait a minute, is this guy setting us up?
Yeah, like it's fun. It's fun to play with. I don't know.
You're right, Greg. We do need that.
Right? Like, because maybe they do. Maybe they do. Like, because it could get some of the aggression out if you could just be like, listen, I know America's effed up, but it's also awesome.
Yeah.
So let us celebrate a little bit of the awesomeness. And then, because it's like you said, like we have Miami, we have New York, we have LA, we have Chicago, like all these wonderful and beautiful places, but it's hard to celebrate because Cleveland still exists. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, but it's like if you can just like I'll put it like this. You got to celebrate all your kids' birthdays. Do you love them all the same? No, but you got to, like, that's why I figure kind of like White History Month is a little bit, is celebrating all your kids, all 50 of your kids' birthdays. You know what I mean? Like, are you proud of them all the same? No. You know? And also, too, there's just so much division within that, even culturally, of people who are like, well, that has nothing to do with me. I was like, I know it doesn't, but whatever. Who cares? Yeah. You paid $17. Like, yeah, let's play around with it.
Oh my God, you're nailing the analogies here. So one of the other things you brought up on stage last night was about, it was another like topic where people were like, "Oh man," you talk about like, man, I'll overlook a lot of things to go on a boat. I love a boat. I'll overlook some racism.
Oh yeah,
certain degrees of racism because I want to be on a boat.
Yeah, this is definitely like, that wasn't racism for me. That was just a flag. like that was racism for them. That was like Kids Bop racism, where they're like, "Oh, we want to leave." Like, I'm not leaving because of that. Like,
so that is an example of a stupid thing that white people do. They put Confederate flags in places, right?
Yeah, it happens.
I have I asked ChatGPT, which I saw a post from you at some point. You were there's another thing on Facebook,
yeah,
and you're like, "Hey, I try to be nice to it."
Yeah.
How often are you using AI?
All the time.
All the time?
I mean,
Are you paying for the?
Hell no. No, free versions.
Free versions.
Free version. That's why I'm polite to it. Because I like ChatGPT, please rewrite this email. And it's just
because we're homies.
Yeah. And it's just like ChatGPT knows I don't know how to use parentheses in the correct way. So just in case if the revolution ever comes, you know what I mean? Hey, man, this dude can't, he's grammatically challenged. Like, in every email that I've had to send in a professional thing, like gets the ChatGPT run through.
There's nobody that could correct that stuff better than ChatGPT.
Yeah, nah, not at all. And then I figured out I can like start making pictures on there. So I've been making pictures of Julius Randle as Blade. I was like, because I was like, he needs a nickname. He's kind of like Blade.
Okay, I see it.
Think.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
You might after your performance in this last.
Yeah, he's definitely not coming back. That's why he's Blade.
So I asked ChatGPT to put together a list of some things that white people do. Things that white people do.
I want to see this list.
All right. Well, there's a ton of them.
Ask ChatGPT what white people do.
Yep.
Was that the number 2 answer?
Yeah, should have been. Number 1. Oh no, so there's many of them here, but I got some of my favorites I want to get your opinion on. All right? Maybe you know, do you do any of these? We'll see here. You've lost count how many times you've complained to a manager.
No, I haven't lost count on that.
Have you ever complained to a manager?
Not really. No. I don't think, like maybe once, but nah, I'm not a big manager complainer.
How about referred to a pet as a fur baby?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Are there pets in the Coleman home?
Yeah, we got a dog. He's outside right now. I left him outside just to toughen him up. I was like, I'll be back in a couple hours. He's an East Side dog.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He probably is asking to leave me outside, yeah.
Yeah, he's
I'm protecting this house. I got you. How about, Greg, do you go to the farmer's market, buy artisanal soap, and then never use it?
I don't buy artisanal soap, but yes, fan of the farmer's market.
Yeah?
Fan of the farmer's market. Yeah.
Which one?
I like the classic Minneapolis one underneath the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we were living downtown, we would go to the Stone Arch one, the one by the Stone Arch one. That was a little bit fancier for my taste, but it was like really close. So, I enjoy because it reminds me of the flea markets a little bit down south.
Sure. All right.
But yeah.
Greg, do you have a strong opinion on oat milk versus almond milk?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. Not a strong. No, I don't even mess with milks anymore. Like, no, I'll buy almond milk, and my kids will complain, or my daughter she'll be like, "Oh, that's the almond milk. I want milk. I was like, "How you even know the difference?" She's like, "I don't." And then so I was like, I could have been buying cheap, dirty milk for her this whole time.
Well, lesson learned the hard way. Have you ever bought a kayak and just left it in your garage for 3 years?
Definitely have.
Yeah?
Yeah. For sure.
Seriously?
Tell you the truth, I've had Dan Mogul. I took one of his kayaks. Yeah. And then
best intentions.
Yep. And then also I took a kayak from Maggie Ferris gave me an inflatable kayak, which was, I think it was Kate Urquhart's.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, from back in the day. And yeah, so I had 2 kayaks. I left the inflatable one, and then my homie's like, yeah, my dad found it in the garage. I'm like, give me my kayak back. But yeah, I definitely did. I did take Dan's kayak, and it was in my garage, but I definitely did use it. Like, it was... Oh yeah, I was kayak life for a good before this ring popped on. It was kayak life, bikes and kayaks and kombucha.
Damn. Nice. Do you get visibly excited when you're at an event and the DJ plays Mr. Brightside?
Dun 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 dun. Ba-da-dum. That one's it, right? I know that song from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Maybe that's why everybody knows it.
Yeah.
I'll work Wild games and like Twins games, and that song comes on, and everyone,
Yeah.
every age, every color, every sex, freaking knows the words. And I'm
Yeah.
like, where have I been that I'm familiar with this tune, but
Yeah,
well, I don't know it.
Yeah, like not like if it comes on in my car, but like I can see if I'm in like the right white people shit, like if I'm at a game and like a couple beers, like I'll never learn all the words, but I know the melody. Yeah,
I'll take it over. What's his name? Neil Diamond. At this point, that one's so overplayed.
Which one's Neil Diamond?
Da da da. Good times ever. So good, so good.
Oh, Sweet Caroline.
Ugh. Never again.
Yeah, that one. And what was the other one they loved? Journey. Don't
That one
Stop
too.
Believing.
Don't stop believing. You can have it. I'm over it. I'm over
You
it.
just gotta hold on to this feeling.
Do you have a whiskey shelf at home, Greg?
I have a shelf that I put whiskey on, but it's not specifically just for whiskey. But I do drink whiskey.
Look at
So
that.
it is kind of a whiskey shelf, but it's like I wouldn't call it that because I'll still drink cheap whiskey because I don't know. It all tastes the same to me.
I like it. It all when you mix it with something,
Yeah,
it's all the same.
Ice and shame.
There you go.
Ice and regrets.
Here's something that white people do. I want to know: do you bring your own koozie and chair to an outdoor gathering?
No. Koozie, no. Like, I mean, not now. Like at Life, maybe just because like went to school in Wisconsin, so I got familiar with koozies and chairs in the back. But like, I don't know. It's weird because koozie feels like really specific, but bringing a chair it just feels like being prepared.
Okay.
And
Fair enough.
Yeah, I got a minivan. I got tons of shit back there. Like, matter of fact, I got tables and chairs in my trunk right now.
Nice.
So just in case if we need, I do have tables and chairs, and we can find the koozie. I'm 50% on that, 75 because I got tables and chairs. That would be 66 if we 3 threes, but
You said the key words, by the way, just in case.
Yeah, just in case.
Just in
This is-
case.
Yeah, that's a real Minnesota shit. Just in case, never know.
We'll do a couple more here. Strong opinion on the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah, I did have a strong opinion on it. I liked it very much.
Yeah. Right? I love how upset people got about that. I mean, any year. It
Yeah.
wasn't just this last one with
Yeah,
Kendrick.
just every single
it's
year.
any year. Just if it's not the Rolling Stones or something. People
Yeah,
get real.
dig up Toby Keith and do him next year.
That would get me to turn the channel. I would look for Puppy Bowl if that was the case. All right, one more here. Rewatch The Office for the 14th time instead of starting a new show. I could tell you that in my home, the white woman in my house, she's The Office for the 14th time.
Yeah.
Do you have a comfort show that you keep going back to?
I do have, we do definitely got comfort shows. The Office was one of my wife's comfort shows, so I watch it, by proxy a little bit. I've never watched it all the way through.
Same.
Like, I'm familiar with the characters
Same.
and blah, 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 but instead of starting, we've been trying to start something new for like 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay.
But my old go-to was always either like Wayne's Bros, Scrubs, but it gets shaky during the playoffs. See, during the playoffs, I don't have to think about. I just watch basketball because this is here for me inside the NBA. I'm like, listen, this is all I get. So she loves it because she just watches Vanderpump all over and over and over. But now that like after this week, because the Wolves are done, when I'm done, we're gonna have to like go back to like something with a purpose, something with a script.
Yeah.
Right. But for me, the last month has been nothing but this is almost embarrassing, but also
Here we go.
I'm getting old enough to the point where I don't care. I've been watching all these documentaries on YouTube, like ranging from like theme parks and like weird history of like Disney theme parks.
Oh, okay.
And like just like big Americana like infrastructures, like, oh, how did this start out here? And then it ended up here, but then also like behind the scenes of popular movies, like this movie started out this way,
Oh,
but
yeah,
it went
I
through
like those.
17
Uh-huh.
rewrites,
Uh-huh.
and now like I just got out the car, I was like, man, I thought I liked Hitch, or not Hitch, Hancock. I thought I liked Hancock, but now come to find out it was the movie was called The Man Who Comes at Night, and I was like, wait a minute, what is this? And then it was supposed to be gritty. And Hancock was supposed to be busting nuts through like women, like busting holes through women and nuts, because he's like, oh, like.
I didn't see that movie.
Yeah, that's the movies they don't make. So sometimes I'm like, I'm glad Hollywood kind of gets in the way, because I did like the palpable Charlize Theron and Will Smith thing.
Right.
Like, they're like, Will Smith was gonna get drunk and be obsessed with this family because of a mother's love. I'm like, you know what? I'm glad that Hancock didn't make it. Like, sometimes it's okay to pull the plug.
Yeah.
See, that's what I do on
See?
stage. Sometimes I pull the
Come
plug.
on. It all fits together. I had a friend, good friend of mine, Bill, sent me a message yesterday asking me if I've watched the new Pee Wee Herman documentary.
I've heard.
And I have not yet. I'm really looking forward to it. And if I've watched the new Tom Segura series on Netflix, Bad Thoughts.
Yeah. I did watch that. Bad Thoughts.
You have?
Yeah.
And I have not got to that either. And my first reply to him was, dude, it's playoff season right now.
Yeah.
I've been watching hockey one night, basketball the other.
You're
Every
definitely.
other. I'm like, once this is done, those are the top of the list. But I have no time for that stuff right
Yeah,
now.
see, I forget about the hockey, because sometimes it feels like, why is hockey still going on?
Yeah.
It's like, but yeah, hockey does run damn near till June.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if you're a basketball and hockey dude, yeah, you're super. Like, that's when I watched, what was it, Tom's show, because the Wolves, we knocked the Lakers out early, so we
there
had
was
to
like a
wait.
week
So,
off.
Yeah, so we had 6 days off, and we watched that show in like.
Would you like to publicly give it a review right now?
Tom, I think the show was great. It would be lovely on season 2 if we expanded the cast, maybe brought back some people in life who you had a liking and a shining to before the fame, and also just apologizing. You know what? This is my fault. I'm not on the show. Years ago, Tom was working here, and Tom was like, Greg, do you have my number? And my dumb ass was like, Tom, we follow each other on Twitter. We're fine. And then, like, I walked out and, like, never got back to it. I was like, we DM each other. And now, arenas. I could have been Black Burt. Like, it could have been me on Two Bears. It could have been a grizzly bear and a black bear, two grizzly bears and black bears. And we could have did it. It's not too late. Call me back. Call me, Tom. Call me. Oh, yeah, buddy. But yeah, I like the show. It was fun that they let them go for it.
I love that. Well, good. It's up next for my wife and I. Oh, that's so funny. So we should wrap it up here. People got to come to the shows. You continue to be one of my favorites. I always ask you about being so loosey goosey on stage. It's because it's so unique and you do it so well. You still manage to pull off a funny show.
Cool.
Just the way you do it is so good. So I highly recommend people come to shows if they can.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, come to these shows, man. Like, you won't be as disappointed as the Timberwolves game.
And cheaper.
Yeah, much cheaper.
And much cheaper.
Much cheaper.
Much cheaper.
For now. Wait till that season 2 of Tom Segura and Greg Coleman show, the Black Bear, Grizzly Bears, comes out. Then these ticket prices through the roof. But for now, I'm a man of the people.
Thank you.
Thank you.